On the recording, this is Steve Roses from the William S. Hein Company, the creator and publisher of HeinOnline. And we're very happy that we have this long-standing relationship with Galileo, and so many members of Galileo subscribe to HeinOnline. And there are other members that we would love to see get a free trial of HeinOnline and eventually perhaps subscribe to HeinOnline as well. So I am recording this, so just be aware of that. And we are going to talk about an overview of HeinOnline Academic and sort of developments of the HeinOnline Academic package. This is, of course, for the 2022 Galileo Annual Conference, and we appreciate you inviting us to this, and I'm excited to get started. So let's get started. That's, of course, a picture of me, as you may see there. Now, what is HeinOnline Academic? HeinOnline Academic is not just one database, but it's a list, it's a collection of 38 multidisciplinary databases, or should I say 38 databases of different disciplines that deal with topics such as history, political science, religion, education, criminal justice, economics, psychology, even space sciences, business, ecology, medicine, law. I'm just describing some of the 1,500 academic topics that HeinOnline Academic deals with. We have over 1,000 academic subscribers in the US and throughout the world. And as I mentioned, we have 38 databases in the HeinOnline Academic collection, but we tend to add a few more databases each year to that collection. So expect that to continue to expand. Now, being a member of Galileo gives you exclusive benefits. We want you to feel confident about the resources you choose for your students and faculty, and that's why we give you a 50% first-year discount. So after the 6-month free trial, which many of you have had, you're welcome to subscribe to HeinOnline after that 6-month free trial. And after that period, you can subscribe with a first year 50% discount. So it's not the full list price yet, the first subscription year. Then, to reward you for being a Galileo member, we give you a 20% perpetual renewal discount. So not only do you get a discount the first year you subscribe, but each year you renew, you get a discount off the list price. So just be aware of that. And of course, the price varies depending on your full-time enrollment. So a small community college could pay as little as $547.50 the first year. Obviously, a 4-year school or a large 4-year school would pay more than that. And it really varies by FTE, and how many years you subscribe would depend on whether you get the first year 50% discount, or if you're renewing, the 20% perpetual renewal discount. So that said, let's go on to our next slide. So we have hit a big milestone. HeinOnline, of course, is easy to use and very, very inexpensive. It also has amazing content, in fact, that other databases just don't have. We just happen to have passed the 200 million page milestone. And who would have thought that when we began HeinOnline in 2000? We began with just 23 journals. Now we have well over 3,000 journals. And who knew that we would be over 200 million pages worth of material? We have 100 different databases that are available in HeinOnline. As I mentioned, 38 of them are in the HeinOnline Academic package. And HeinOnline contains more than 600,000 total volumes. 600,000 total volumes, which is indeed amazing. So what would this equate to? How big is 200 million pages worth of material? Well, 6 miles. In other words, if it was stacked on top of each other, 200 million pages would reach more than 6 miles high. Well, that's pretty darn high. That's a lot higher than the Empire State Building or the CN Tower or that big building that's in Taipei, which I've been in, called Taipei 101, I believe, or any of the biggest buildings in the world. It's way bigger than that. It's 6 million It's 6 miles high for that 200 million page milestone. In addition, that comes out to 1,600 shelving units. 200 million pages would fill up more than 1,600 shelving units at the library. And 10 full libraries. You would need more than 10 libraries stuffed shelf to shelf to fit the 200 million pages. So really, really amazing depth and breadth of material here. Now, in addition to the HeinOnline academic package that some of you subscribe to, we have also additional collections known as a la carte collections. You may have been familiar with the state package, the individual state package collection for Georgia. Yes, we have that available. We also have that Fastcase Premium product available that some of you subscribe to. But in addition to that, we have other topical collections. Some of you do already subscribe to those too. Things like Indigenous Peoples of the Americas, Immigration Law and Policy in the US, Democracy in America. And some of the collections are even a one-time fee, so you're not paying continuously. If you subscribe to the main HeinOnline Academic, you can get, for example, Democracy in America added on for a small one-time fee, or Business and Legal Aspects of Sports and Entertainment added on for a small one-time fee. And that small one-time fee is discounted further because we have a 15% discount on select databases due to the spring savings promotion that we have now until when? Until June 30th, 2022. And just when you're placing an order for the annual savings event, just mention the SAVE 2022 promo code. And then you can get a 15% discount on select databases if you order by June 30th, 2022. Now, all of that said, you're welcome to get a free trial of any of these before you decide to order. A free trial of the main HeinOnline academic package, or a free trial of any of these a la carte collections. What's coming soon? Well, as I mentioned, we're always adding new collections to HeinOnline. So what are some of the collections coming out soon? Well, we have a LGBTQ plus rights collection coming out. And this collection will allow you to learn about current and historical hurdles the LGBTQ plus community has had to face. And it's a new database, including sub-collections relating to employment discrimination, marriage and family, military service, healthcare, and more. The various societal issues that LGBTQ plus folks face all the time. And then, of course, water rights. Explore water law and the complicated legal principles and doctrines that form the basis of each type of water right and how they vary according to location. We are coming up with a new collection on that. We will update you through our newsletter, through our various email updates when those are coming out, but you can expect some of them pretty soon. And we will have other databases coming soon as well. Okay, let me see if I can now switch you to HeinOnline itself, so we can get you looking at the database. That's my calendar. We don't need that. Hopefully now you can see HeinOnline. And within HeinOnline, let's look at the various collections. So you can see we have HeinOnline Academic, the 38 or so collections. We also have an add-on here that I'm showing you called the Georgia State Individual State Package. That is comprised of various sub-collections. You can see Georgia Attorney General opinions, Georgia session laws, Georgia state reports, Georgia state statutes, Georgia political and legal history, and pre-statehood legal materials, and the state constitutions of Georgia. We also have here another spring savings a la carte that we'd like you to consider. That is the Immigration Law and Policy in the US. And that's a great collection that you can opt to add. We also have great other collections here that we would love you to look at as well, such as the business and legal aspects of sports and entertainment. But let's focus first on the HeinOnline academic package and those 38 collections in the HeinOnline academic package. The largest collection by far in HeinOnline academic is the journal library. Now, we still call it the Law Journal Library because we started having exclusively law journals. However, as we became more and more multidisciplinary, as we expanded throughout the country and throughout the world, we increasingly started to add political science journals, human rights journals, immigration journals, and it just goes on and on. We have a total multidisciplinary journal base now, but we still call it the Law Journal Library because that's what we originally called it. So the Law Journal Library is the largest collection in HeinOnline Academic. It has over 3,000 journals. If we click the I here, like if we click the I under any of these collections, it will give you a description of what is in a given collection in HeinOnline. So the Law Journal Library, let's just take a quick look at it because it is the biggest collection within HeinOnline Academic. 42 million pages in this collection alone, 3,073 journals. You can get a list of any of the collections, what's in it. For example, you might want to compare what HeinOnline has to other databases like Nexus Uni or Westlaw or ProQuest to see, why are there so many journals in HeinOnline? How does that compare to other databases we have, that you have? And in fact, you can do that. You can get a CSV or save this as an Excel file and look at the list of the titles we have, not only for journals, but you could even go in our legal classics collection where we have over 18,000 monographs and treatises and see how this compares to treatises you already have. I'm sure you'll find it much more extensive. And that's why HeinOnline, it's the gift that continues to give. It has so much material and the material keeps expanding. It's also easier to use and very inexpensive and has multidisciplinary content no one else has, especially for this low price, especially for this high level of ease of use. So I'm going to go into the Law Journal Library to give you a look at it because we have some new features that you might not have seen since the last time you took a gander at HeinOnline. So let's open that up, go into there. As you can see, this is where all our various journals are. Now, we have something called Pathfinder that we've done in the last couple of years, which organizes all the different documents on HeinOnline by subject matter. So there are subjects, topics, and categories. It's a whole taxonomy of material. So I'm going to click on that. We're going to go to the Pathfinder subjects. So you can see the kind of diversity of content and why this is so relevant to undergraduate institutions like yours, so relevant to community colleges, so relevant to large state colleges, so relevant to four-year liberal arts schools. It's so relevant. Okay, now we're looking here at the different topics. Notice we have all sorts of documents on applied sciences. You may have a question regarding education or animal studies or agriculture. You're going to find material in HeinOnline. You may have a question regarding humanities, arts and entertainment, of course, law, religion, philosophy and ethics. You're going to be able to research that in HeinOnline. Business, industry, yes, you're going to be able to research that in HeinOnline, and you can get to it through this taxonomy, this Pathfinder feature. Social sciences, of course, is what we're most well known for, and you can research things like race, ethnicity, and culture, economics, criminal justice, etc. Now, it's fine to look at these as an outline, but you may also want to look at this as a graphical representation because many of your students are graphical learners. And that's when you would click on the graphical feature. And you could click back to the subjects. So just to get in here to show you sort of the diversity here, if I wanted to go into the subject of race, ethnicity, and culture, I could click here, and now it's going to take me to subcategories, and we can find documents we're looking for. Here's something about Jim Crow, here's something about federalism, here's something about friar lands in the Philippines, so we have an international aspect, the impact of integration in the European Union, etc. So we're dealing with not only race and equality and gender in the United States and race and ethnicity, but we're dealing with other countries. Okay, let's take a quick look at one of these documents, and you'll see, let's look at this article from Immigration and Nationality Law Review. It's an article on algorithmic Jim Crow. It's on the part 2 that says politics and policy. And notice it deals with all these topics: race and ethnicity in the law, science, technology and the law as it applies to race, crimes against the state, state and local government, equal protection, and of course included in that, the Equal Protection Clause, 14th Amendment, as you know, which is a key amendment dealing with race in this country, and law and society. Let's open up this article. Take a look. Now, here's the article. In the article, you're going to have all, you're going to have, if there are references to footnotes, if there are citations, if there are citations to articles, cases, government documents. HeinOnline, as you'll remember, has government documents, has cases, has documents, has books. And so if any of those are mentioned in this article, you're going to be able to hypertext link to it. For example, this article is mentioned in this article. In other words, this article is cited, this Fordham article is cited in this article, and you can go right to that article by clicking on the blue hypertext link. So everything is meant to be integrated and at your fingertips when you're researching. And that includes government documents, it includes articles, includes any statutes that are mentioned in here, etc. Now, let's show you some features when it comes to using HeinOnline and looking at a given document. Here is where you would download a PDF of this section. Here is where you would print. Here is where you could email this. And the person you email a document to from HeinOnline, you could email any document on HeinOnline. Person you email it to does not have to be a subscriber, does not have to be someone who's on trial, but you can actually send a total stranger a link to a document on HeinOnline, and it will work temporarily, even though they don't subscribe. So you can send them an email, and you can put that email in one of a variety of formats. So you might want to put it in Blue Book format, but you might want to maybe put it in MLA format if your university uses MLA a lot, or Chicago, or APA. So lots of different formats, and you can send an email with that material in those different formats. In addition to that, you can cite in those different formats, and you just click here and you can cite it. Notice we have the Blue Book. If you're sending a legal matter, if you want to use MLA, if you want to use Chicago, if you want to APA, we're putting the same document in all these different formats. Not only that, but we work with the same software that you work with in terms of being able to cite things, in terms of doing bibliographies. So we work with RefWorks, export, you can export Zotero. We work with Zotero. We work with Noodle Tools, which is something we've been the more recent one we've been working with, and we work with EndNote. So all of that software we work with. So if your university or college uses that, we work with all of them. Now, let's say your professor or faculty member wants to get a permalink of a specific document on HeinOnline for a syllabus. They need only click here at the permalink, and it'll come up with a permalink to that article or document. You could do it on a book. You could do it on a government document. You could do it with a case. So a permalink, just click here. Now, if you want to do a search within search, say you wanted to search the word equality within this Jim Crow article, you could do a search within here. You just click here and put the term in the search field, and you can do a search. Now, because this is an image, you can change the pagination and go right here to any of the other parts of HeinOnline. You could go to various parts of the table of contents of this document, and notice all the different hypertext links. Here's a F3rd case. You want to go to that, you can click on it. It's the full text of that case. You want to go to a US code section that is mentioned in this article. You click here on 5 USC 552. It'll take you right to that US code. Same with this Federal Register material that's quoted in here. So this gives you, and that's a government document. So you can see how everything's integrated in a way that many databases are not, into one easy to use aspect. Now, let's see if you wanted to change the pagination further. You can click and you're changing the pagination. Now we have a feature called More Like This, and I want to show this to you. Let's say your faculty member or student finds this article to be just so valuable, more valuable than anything else. You don't want to do another query search. You don't want to do a search up here. You could, but you don't want to, let's say, because you want to find exact articles that deal with the different subject matters that the algorithm called More Like This finds are related to this article. So you click on More Like This, and More Like This is going to do something very special for you. It's going to find the most interesting words from that document. And it tells you what the algorithm finds are the most interesting words. Notice it picked up on the word Jim Crow. It picked up on the phrase algorithmic Jim. It picked up on the phrase vetting. It picked up on the name Trump and states. Now, Jim Crow might be very important. You might want to do this exactly like they boosted it. And here you have all these new results using More Like This. And you can see they're very relevant. You can also see this on right here. What is this? This is called Scholar Check. This, at a moment's notice, at a button, shows you the other articles that cite this article. It tells you how often the article has been accessed in a rolling 12-month period on HeinOnline. Notice this article has been accessed 106 times in a rolling period. Pretty darn important. If there are any cases that cite an article, it's going to tell you that. It's going to tell you the other articles that cite the article. Also, right here at your fingertips is another place where you can download PDFs, you can print, you can email, and then we have a bookmarking tool called MyHein. I recommend that you use that your various users, if you subscribe, set up a MyHein free profile, because every individual user can save their individual work, can save their own documents, can get table of contents alerts, can create alerts for themselves on new content that's being added to HeinOnline. So that is very valuable. It's whenever you see this symbol, and here up here is where you would set up that bookmarking tool. But let's see if we wanted to change how More Like This boosted our results. We might want Jim Crow to be high, but the term vetting, we might want to be even stronger. And we might want the phrase, the word Donald Trump to be even higher, and states a little higher. And we might want to look through the period from, say, 2010 for the purpose of this search to 2022. So I'm going to do this search. And now we found other results using the way we just boosted that, finding other Scholar Check results, finding other documents that we can go to and open this up and look at those. Another thing I want to show you quickly, because I didn't mention it, if you have people with disabilities that use a screen reader, for example, you can, with this feature, text to this page, you can change your document right from an image to text, and you can use that on a screen reader. And by the way, everything's fully searchable. The image is fully searchable, and the text is fully searchable. So HeinOnline is the best of all worlds. It gives you that image, that PDF, so it looks just like the print would, but it's fully searchable, has all the original pagination, has the footnotes, has the bibliographic information. It's really quite a wonder. Okay, so that was just a look at the Law Journal Library. I'm going to show you another part of the HeinOnline Academic. We recently added a military and government collection to HeinOnline Academic. Really amazing stuff. This is just one of the 38 collections. We added it pretty recently. I'm going to open this up. This is not an add-on now. This is just part of the collection. You can research legislative histories of the different statutes on or acts that the U.S. has passed regarding military budget, different aspects of the military. You have Code of Federal Regulations, titles dealing with the military, congressional committee prints, congressional research service reports on the military. You could do a search here. For example, I could do a search on Space Force Program, and let's say Space Force. Now, I don't know if there's any with them in both of those terms in the article or document, but let's see. No matter, now, keep in mind, we're only looking at the military and government collection. We could also go up here and search all the databases. See here, you can search all the databases in HeinOnline Academic, but here we're just searching the military and government database. So let's see if there are any results here. I'm going to open that up. And you can see there are quite a few. And let's take a look. This is, and here you can see the subject matters that this deal with. Here's something on space diplomacy and national security threat. This is from National Security Law Brief, and we're going to open this up so we get a look at it. Once again, it's not an article, it's actually a government document, but you can send it the same way to people. You can save it in your MyHein bookmarks, you can email it, you can get a permanent link, and just very, very useful. You can use the more like this finder feature, you can use Pathfinder. Okay, so now I'm going to go into another database. In this case, I'm going to go into our Civil Rights and Social Justice database, which is just another collection in HeinOnline Academic. And you can see we have all these different tabs, hearings, congressional hearings we can go to, Supreme Court briefs, legislative histories. I'm going to go right to an advanced search, and I'm going to do a Venn diagram search. Now, this is a great, in addition to that visual Pathfinder feature, this is a great visual learning tool for your students and faculty that like to learn visually. And I'm going to put in, Gettysburg. I'm going to put in Lincoln. And I'm going to put in emancipation. Now, I'm not positive that there is one document that has all this in the civil rights database, but I'm going to try it. And we're doing a Venn diagram search. I'll show you what that means in 1 second. So we're doing a search for these three terms. And you can see this is the Venn diagram. This is interactive. This is all the results for the term Lincoln in the Civil Rights and Social Justice collection, 4,465 results. Here are all the results for the term Gettysburg in the Civil Rights and Social Justice collection, 331. And for the term emancipation, we have 3,262 results. Now, for the purpose of this search, and you can see it's interactive, we might want to see the overlap between Lincoln and emancipation. Probably a lot of overlap because Lincoln, after all, delivered the Emancipation Proclamation. But let's just check that out. This red area is, in fact, the overlap, the documents that overlap between Lincoln and emancipation. So they're going to, all these documents here, and you can go to see any of them, are going to have that term. Here are the terms, here are the documents that have Lincoln and Gettysburg, 257 results. Here are the ones that have Gettysburg and emancipation, 152 results, quite a few. Some of them are books, some of them are journals, some of them are articles, some of them are government documents. But what we really want to see here is the overlap, only the red area where all three of these terms overlap, because that's going to be the most relevant. That means it has Lincoln and Gettysburg and emancipation. So you can use this as a way to really show the logic behind searching for your students who have just used Google type searching. This is a good way to teach them sort of a more in-depth way to search. Of course, you can do Google type searching on HeinOnline, but I happen to have learned using Boolean, and I like to use Boolean every once in a while to dig deep. However, you can dig deep with just Boolean, with non-Boolean searching. And this Venn diagram searching makes that all so much easier because you can see the overlap right there. So now, let's say you really find this document interesting. This is a chapter in a book. Yes, it's a chapter in a book. So we have government documents, we have journal articles, we have historic material, we have current material. This is a document in a book, a chapter in a book from 1928. It's here in its full text, and it's fully searchable, and it deals with the War of the States, it deals with civil rights, and you can break it down here by chapter, so you could go right into it, by table of contents, so you can go right into it, and you can email this. Yes, even the chapter can be emailed to someone who's interested in your research, either someone who subscribes or is in your university and on trial like you, or someone who's a total stranger who you just want to send the document to as a temporary link. So just be aware of that. Okay, let me show you some of the other collections. Here is the Georgia State package. This is an add-on, inexpensive add-on that some of you are now getting, some of you who already have HeinOnline Academic, and you're getting it because you want this additional Georgia information. And it's an extra $525 for this in-depth extra Georgia information, which includes Attorney General materials, the full session laws. And when I say full session laws for Georgia, let me just show you. We're talking about going all the way back all the way back in Georgia history to even 1735, before Georgia was a state. And you can go all the way here, and you're going all the way current. So, and if you have a given citation, you can go right to the full text session laws. So this is, maybe you're not going to be using that every day, but that's an amazing resource. Same with state reports, state statutes, session laws, attorney general materials, etc. Now, you may want to do some international research. And that's where our world constitutions, part of HeinOnline Academic, yes, it's just part of HeinOnline Academic, comes in. If you want the constitution of any country in the world, you're going to find it. So if I want the Constitution of France, I just go on this list here within World Constitutions. Open up the hierarchy here. I go right to the Constitution of 1958, which is the last iteration of the French Constitution from the Fifth Republic. But we see it was amended in 2008. Furthermore, if we open this plus sign, we see that it was translated, that this amended version of the 1958 Constitution was translated in 2013. So if we want to see this in English, you click on English. If we want to see this in the original French, you can see that, and you can see it's in multiple languages. So this is something that if you have any professors going on sabbatical, say to another country, and they want to take a gander at the Constitution of that country, boom. Of course, World Constitutions has tons of U.S. materials, whether you're talking about the powers of the presidency, the Bill of Rights, the Commerce Clause, any aspect, search and seizure, any key aspect of constitutional law for the U.S., that's also in the World Constitutions. Now, if you wanted to see case law, not only do we have every U.S. Supreme Court case, but through Fast Case Basic, which is just part of HeinOnline Academic, we have lower federal court cases as well as state cases. So just be aware of that as well. In the Legal Classics collection, this is where your over 18,000 monographs and treatises are. And you can see we have amazing international resources here. We have amazing history resources. History resources, you say? Yes, let's go into our U.S. Presidential Library to show you some of our history resources. Now, here we have full text, fully searchable presidential documents going all the way back to George Washington, all the way to Abraham Lincoln and presidents in the middle of the U.S. history, and then all the way to current, such as the presidencies of Biden, Trump, Obama, Clinton, etc. We can research all of these areas. You can do a search here. If you wanted to find out Nixon's notes when he went to, say, China, we have that material. Now we also have a whole section here on impeachment, not just the two Trump impeachments, but any president who has faced impeachment. So you can research the impeachment of Bill Clinton. Donald Trump was impeached in the House twice. Andrew Johnson was impeached in the House. Richard Nixon resigned before he could be impeached in the House. None of these presidents have been convicted in the Senate. Just be aware of that. But if you're studying the history of this, this is just a great resource to be aware of. Okay, you can look at all the different, like HeinOnline Academic has a whole religion in the law collection. It has a whole women's studies collection, women in the law, amazing things on suffrage and the right to vote and even abortion and those kinds of issues. We have amazing material on international law. So if you're looking at war crimes, for example, the Nuremberg trials, if you're looking for Hague materials on international law, we have amazing materials on that. But we also have a la carte collections that you can add to the 38 collections in HeinOnline Academic. What are some of those a la carte collections? Well, for example, if you wanted to go more in depth into immigration, HeinOnline Academic has tons of material on immigration. But if you wanted to go more in depth, you would go right here and you go into that and you go right into all of these tabs dealing with immigration. If you wanted to find more information about the business of sports and entertainment, you could get a free trial to our business and legal aspects of sports and entertainment and find amazing material on both sports and entertainment and how to research that. If you wanted material on Other topics such as Indigenous peoples, you can get a trial of that. And you can decide to add that as an add-on and take advantage of the spring savings. So the idea is HeinOnline Academic is going to give you the heart of what you need, but if you ever want an additional collection, such as the Georgia State package or such as one of the individual a la carte collections, you can add that to your 38 databases that are in HeinOnline Academic. Some of you don't even subscribe to HeinOnline Academic, so in that case, for you, you would probably want to trial a 6-month free trial of the HeinOnline Academic package to begin with. And we welcome that. And as I said, you can get a 6-month free trial of that. So we're going to start concluding now. Just to let you know, we have this live chat feature available when you're on trial or when you subscribe. If it's 8:30 to 6, Monday through Friday, live chat us. Your librarians can do it, your students can do it, your faculty can do it, and just live chat us your questions. Another key thing you want to do is go to our help, and you can give us feedback. You can contact us. You can get our free LibGuides. We have LibGuides on almost all of the major HeinOnline collections, and you can use them. If you subscribe to HeinOnline, you can use our free LibGuides to help your students get the most out of the HeinOnline trial or subscription. Knowledge base is a place where you can put in all sorts of terms like accessibility, or how you can find out how many things can I download at one time, or you can find out videos, you can find user guides, you can find out how to use MyHein. Knowledge base is going to come in very handy. We have a whole blog that we recommend you use. Any of you can subscribe for free to our HeinOnline blog. We showed how to research in many different subjects on HeinOnline and how it's relevant to an undergraduate institution just like yours, as well as to many graduate institutions as well. User guide, welcome to get that. We have that for you. We have our privacy policy, and if you want to use Boolean, we have at your fingertips the ability to get advanced search syntax. Now I'm going to do something which is write out my email address for you. I'm going to put it right in the search line, because if you have any other questions, we would love for you to email us, sroses@wshein.com, SROSES@WSHEIN.com. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time today, and I hope that you have a great day and a great tomorrow. Talk to you soon, and thank you for your interest in HeinOnline. Thank you. Now, with all of that said, I'm going to